Let's go straight into our 9 p.m. debate. Arun Jaitley is joining us live along with Jayanti Natarajan. Derek O'Brien joins us in the studio and we have a full panel with us. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Great to have you with us. Before we went, we were debating this at about 7:30 with Jayanti Natarajan, and she said that these results have no impact at the national level. These are state elections. They have zero impact on the national level. I'd like you to respond to that, Mr. Jaitley, first, and then I'll get a response back from the others.
Well, I'll be delighted if the Congress continues to maintain that and goes into the next Lok Sabha election still under an illusion that people of India are all in their favor and that this was only a vote of no confidence against some state leadership of the Congress party. If the Congress is refusing to get the message of this election, well, it suits us very much. But the hard reality is there is a strong anti-Congress mood in this country. There is a huge rejection of the Congress at various levels. And therefore, in states where Congress was in power, Rajasthan and Delhi, there was not only a state anti-incumbency, there was a double anti-incumbency which was functioning against them, which almost resulted in their being decimated. States in which the BJP was in power, they tried their best to create an environment of anti-incumbency, but none existed. And therefore, additionally, an anti-Congress mood in the country helped us in retaining those two states, one of them by a higher margin.
Well, Jayanti Natarajan, are you going to be as complacent as Mr. Jaitley says he'd be? He says he's going to be very happy if you continue to be complacent and not read the mood of the people.
Well, we are not complacent at all. My leader, the Congress president, and also the vice president of the Congress have both said that we need serious introspection and we need to reconstruct. We need to see what went wrong, so we are not complacent in the least. Whihowever, it would also not be correct for the BJP to imagine that this is by any means a vote in favor of the BJP, because while undoubtedly we were routed in Rajasthan, for various reasons which we can go into later. In Chhattisgarh, it was neck and neck, and in Delhi, they may have won the largest number of seats, but even if the Congress was routed after a 15-year anti-incumbency issue for Sheila Ji, although she did magnificent work, fact remains that the Aam Aadmi Party has overtaken the BJP in the sense that they may not be able to form a government. So to call this in any sense a pro-BJP election, set of elections would be completely wrong, and I definitely take it, we have been saying from the morning that we need to introspect and we will set our issues right. We certainly have a great deal to worry about.
No, but again, you're not being very specific out there. But let's, anyway, does Delhi prove? Does the split verdict, Arun Jaitley, in Delhi prove your thesis wrong?
Well, let me first of all respond to what Jayanti had said. After being in power for 10 years, to get a two-third majority in Madhya Pradesh, there is no pro-BJP mood. Chhattisgarh was a region of undivided Madhya Pradesh where BJP was traditionally weak and the Congress was traditionally strong. To continue to be in power for 15 years in that region also doesn't prove a point. To win 82% of the seats in Rajasthan, according to Jayanti, doesn't prove a point. As far as Delhi is concerned, I have no hesitation in conceding. Delhi was a case of a divided anti-incumbency, and we have probably, because of that, got 5 to 6 seats lesser than what we had expected, and that's why we are a little short of the majority. But we haven't been routed the way Congress has been, because the mood in Delhi was not anti-BJP, it was essentially anti-Congress.
No, but that's cold consolation, Arunji. Arnab, that's cold consolation for Arunji, because in Chhattisgarh, Congress was fighting with both hands tied, with 32 of our tallest leaders in Chhattisgarh being decimated, being assassinated. So I don't think it's fair. I think my point remains that Chhattisgarh and Delhi prove that it's not a pro-BJP, and I freely concede too that we were routed in Rajasthan. And in Madhya Pradesh, Mr. Chauhan won fair and square. I freely concede that.
Are you on the wrong side of issues, Jayanti Natarajan? You're on the wrong side of anti-incumbency.
No, it is
both
a fact.
At the central level and the state level,
no,
at the central level.
No, it is
on the issue. On what? Allow me to complete. On the issue, you're clubbed with inflation. 1 minute. Clubbed with inflation. Clubbed with allegations of corruption. the negative impact of the non-performance of this UPA 2 government, the fact that Rahul Gandhi, has not been able to reset the agenda of the Congress party despite being fairly active for the last 5 years. I mean, today, what we're asking you is this, Ms. Natarajan. What will you change? Forget about whether this is a pro-BJP or an anti-Congress wave or not. What will you change? Tell me one thing that you will change between now and April, and then we'll take the debate forward.
Arnab, I don't think it's fair to ask me that question. I don't have those answers. We need to analyze the results. Clearly, we've gone wrong. We admit that. We need to analyze what happened. All I'm saying is that it's not a uniform phenomenon or one particular reason, but different reasons in different states. And therefore, we need to analyze it. And it's not, it's not instant. I cannot give you an instant reaction on that.
Well, Derek O'Brien, you've seen 3 major results out there. Let's get Derek O'Brien into the debate. You concede here today that there is a pro-anti-Congress wave which is largely being monopolized by the BJP. Despite, you're pushing a federal front, would you cut the BJP some slack and say they are leading this whole anti-Congress wave?
See, Arnab, the first thing is that you guys and everyone else has been calling this a semi-final. Our view is that this is not a semi-final, this is a match of the losing semi-finalists. They're playing for 3rd place. It's really that, because if you look at these numbers, today's numbers, and if you be very generous to both the Congress and the BJP, if you extrapolate those numbers across the country,
yes,
you'll end up with Congress plus BJP plus CPM being less than 272. I said on your program 1 month ago the Congress would be 99 run out.
Have you added the CPM for effect out there?
No, total number, because I'm looking at everybody else besides these 3. So if you look at these numbers, about 1 month ago on your program I said the Congress would get 99 run out and everyone was not happy with the number. I revised the number, now they'll be 80-85 bowled out.
Yes.
BJP, even if you look at every number possible, you get about 160, 165. So we're really looking at this, a lot of parties who will have more than 200 and more than 270.
Mr. Arun Jaitley said that these 4 states alone will get 65 out of 70.
No. Mr. Arun Jaitley also has to be told if he goes to the K boat, what I call the K boat states, boat K, Bengal, Orissa, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala.
Right.
All 5 states, one big zero. So where is the BJP? Anyway, I'm not here to discuss
No,
BJP.
but let Mr.
No, I'm not here to discuss BJP numbers or Congress numbers. My story here is I'm telling you very clearly, Mamata Banerjee is coming to Delhi tomorrow. Okay. She's going to be here at Delhi for 2-3 days. She has some personal work. And we are actually very focused on development and peace in Bengal. So this is like a weekend break for us where we've come to your studio to look at some numbers. But our focus is on the
what
peace.
Is Mamata Banerjee is coming to Delhi tomorrow? I don't quite, you're connecting the
exactly.
election results.
Sorry.
Mamata Banerjee
No, I was
tomorrow?
just talking about election results and I gave you a factual thing about somebody taking a flight and coming to Delhi tomorrow.
Are you being threatened by the BJP's performance, especially in Rajasthan?
How can you be threatened? The BJP had meetings.
You wouldn't have wanted the BJP
There are 2 things which have happened today. Okay, one is that the Congress have been cleaned up.
Okay.
And 2, there is no Modi wave.
Okay. There is no Modi wave.
No.
Substantiate that.
You look at the numbers in Delhi. Listen, the big political point here is that when there is an alternative to the Congress and the BJP, which is what I said a month ago, people will always go for that alternative. You look across the states, so Delhi was one alternative.
Arun Jaitley, would you like to respond to the several comments made? And, Jayanti Natarajan looks increasingly upset with your observation. But the basic thrust is as a point.
I'm amused.
The Congress and the BJP don't have a pan-Indian presence. Okay, Jayanti Natarajan, you would like to first?
No, let Arunji go first.
Yes, Mr. Jaitley.
Well, Derek is a very dear friend. He's a colleague in Parliament. He's an eminent quizmaster. I didn't know he's also a fiction writer. Because this whole analysis that he's making is almost like a fiction. You see, let's first of all see the basic fallacy in his proposition. We live in an era of coalition governments, admittedly true. But for a coalition to survive, the anchor of the coalition can't be somebody with 20-25 seats in Parliament. the anchor has to be somebody with 150 seats plus as far as the central government is concerned. If you have a 20-seat anchor, as Derek would imagine it to be, it could be a theoretical calculation on the back of an envelope. It will never be a government that will last. Secondly, I have always believed that if there is a strong BJP...
We're not 20, we're 35.
Okay, fine.
Well, you are 20.
We're 35.
You are all right. You can't even have an anchor which is 25. You have to have an anchor which is 150 plus. Now let's come to the basic point. Today, if these 72 parliamentary seats are which went to poll, if you make an arithmetical calculation, the Congress gets very few. Maybe the Aam Aadmi Party gets 2 or 3. And then the rest, 60 plus to 65, goes to the BJP. Now, this indicates that there is a basic momentum with the BJP. There is a pro-BJP, pro-Modi mood in this country. There are regions in this country, in the north, in the center, in the west, where we are extremely strong. Today, our strike rate in these 4 assemblies has been 68%. Now, if we have a strong strike rate in these regions, we will pick up a large number of seats. Now, in the other regions, that's east and south, where we are relatively not so strong, we are open to alliances. Now, if we increase our vote in the country, the non-Congress parties will have to decide whether they need us in their state or they don't need us in the state. Now, Derek can speak for the Trinamool Congress. He can't speak for half a dozen states as far as India is concerned. They had a Federal Front conference in the name of Secular Front in Delhi a month ago. The Anna DMK participated in that and immediately came back to Delhi, went back to Chennai and wrote a letter against the communal violence bill. And therefore, the other participants like the JDU and the Samajwadi Party didn't know how to be in consonance with that. Therefore, there are a lot of contest.
You're saying the Trinamool Congress should not get ahead of itself.
The Trinamool Congress is an important regional party. It's an important non-Congress political party. And therefore, rather than jump to conclusions and hallucinate that it's going to be an anchor of some coalition, it should wait for political events to settle themselves up. As far as anti-Congressism in this country is concerned, the third front in India has been a failed idea. It's been experimented a couple of times. I only hope and pray in the interest of this country, it's never experimented again.
Jayanti Natarajan wants to respond as well, but don't hallucinate, Derek O'Brien, and don't get ahead of yourself. You're an important player, but don't hallucinate.
No, since
well,
5 months before elections,
I would like to respond to what Derek said.
You're under joint attack, by the way.
I would like to respond to what Derek said. The Trinamool Congress, undoubtedly an important regional player, says that the BJP and the Congress don't have a pan-Indian presence, ruling in one state. I would like to point out, and this responds in part to what Arunjay said also, that after these 4 state elections where 73 Lok Sabha seats are involved, and now that they're going to win most of the 73, their strike rate is whatever. I would like to point out that even after this defeat, we have 11 Congress chief ministers and 2 alliance chief ministers, whereas the BJP has 6 chief ministers, even after these defeats that we face today, and 1 alliance chief minister. Also, there are 470 Lok Sabha seats which are still not yet been brought into the reckoning. And we have a few months ahead of us, and these are the BJP's strongholds. So the BJP's strongholds, they've won, they've succeeded in 2 states fair and square. It's too early now for the BJP to imagine that this is a wave against the Congress or for the BJP. There are therefore 400 seats of the Lok Sabha which are left. We too have friends and allies, and we too have great strengths in other states. Please don't forget, I know people will immediately jump and tell me that Karnataka was because of other reasons, that Uttarakhand they lost by 1 seat, and Himachal, but we did win 3 states just a little while ago, for whatever reason. We lost 4 states now. We could well win Lok Sabha in 2014. So I think it's too early to jump to conclusions. And certainly, the one thing I agree with Arunji about is that Derek would make a very good fiction writer.
Well, I've managed to do something today which is good. At least the Congress and the BJP have agreed on something to disagree with me. That's very, very good. And that suits me absolutely fine. Because in Bengal, we are taking on the Congress, the BJP and the CPIM. So equally. So we are fighting them alone. So this is absolutely fine. Our focus now for the Trinamool is peace and development in Bengal. That will lead us to a very good number of Lok Sabha seats. And after that, I think the numbers will do the talking.
Well, okay.
Now, whether I'm writing fiction or whether I'm hallucinating, I was also hallucinating 1 month ago. But going back to the analogy of this anchor, let's switch the analogy from the ship to the train. Actually, it's not about an anchor. It's about an engine which drives it. Now, who will drive this engine? Will it be a non-Congress, BJP, non-BJP engine which can drive this?
No, you're pushing it. But what Mr. Jaitley is saying that you're isolated. He's saying there are several other parties.
See, when you come with 35 seats to the Lok Sabha, you're not isolated.
You can't claim to be
Backseat
speaking.
driving of a train.
No, he says you can't claim to be speaking on behalf of 10 parties. Otherwise, you name the parties who you've got.
No. I'm speaking today. See, I'm speaking today as an observer on a weekend who's seen all these numbers.